Today I'm going to be talking to you about the directions for the field trip post-assignment. This is going to be due by March the 1st. You'll be working on this mainly during Power 30, but you're also welcome to work on it outside of school. There will not be time in civics class given to work on this assignment. So the first thing you need to do is to go to Google Classroom. And you're going to add a class. This is the code that you are going to use. You have to type it in exactly as you see it. So you'll want to pause the video to make sure that you have the correct code. But I can show you how to add a class in Google Classroom. So obviously you got to go to Google Classroom. Most of you are going to have an account anyway from sometime in the past. So what you'll want to do is add a class, and I think there's a button somewhere where you can do that. Yeah, so you should have this create or join class. You're going to choose to join class, and again you are going to put in this code right here, Z7Z661C, and that is in all lowercase. So then once you join that class, it is actually going to be called Washington, D.C. assignment. And you are going to want to go, you're going to want to find where classwork is. And there's going to be two things there. I'm going to talk about this one first. This is for students who did not go on the virtual field trip. You will only need to complete this if you did not go on the virtual field trip and you were not here at school that day. So you would need to complete this because you are going to have to talk about one of the things that you visited, and in this case, visited will be a virtual field trip. This is not the thing that's going to be graded. So you have to do this if you were not here on the day of the field trip and you did not go on the field trip. Once you complete this, this is actually the assignment that everybody has to complete that will be a grade for civics class. Notice it says everyone completes. So you would open the document, and then it is this right here, and it is some directions that you will need to follow. Basically what you're going to do is talk about one of the exhibits that you saw, and it has to be a specific exhibit, not a museum. So I don't want a general museum. So for example, you can't just choose the Air and Space Museum. You have to choose an exhibit at one of the museums, like the Space Shuttle at the Air and Space Museum. So then you're going to have to answer these questions right here, and then you're going to connect it to the U.S. government. So you can do this in one of three ways. You can tell me laws that exist related to the topic. You can tell me the response that the government had in this whatever scenario is being presented. Or you can talk about funding that was provided by the government. You do not have to do all three of these. It's only one of them. You just have to connect it to the U.S. government in some way. But I want your information to be specific. So you are probably going to have to use sources on the internet in order to answer those questions. So again, join the Google Classroom. If you are not here, you will need to complete this virtual field trip. If you did go on the field trip, everybody completes this. If you have questions, you can see Ms. Dove or Ms. Beck.